Says we're streaming on this software, not on YouTube, but
Let me check from my YouTube channel.
okay.
It says we are live.
All right.
How we looking, Dan?
Looks like we're live.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Pass it.
You're alive.
Hey, guys.
Just put your face in there.
I just left the comment that said, here's a comment. Did it come up? It did.
Ding.
Is it working?
We are live.
Sweet.
Yes.
Okay, I can't wait to take my clothes off.
There you go.
In
Look.
case you can't figure it out, this is yours.
Thank you.
All right. Jimbo says it works too. Cool. All right. Thank God. Oh, dude, I've been stressing to get this right.
Bangarang.
Cool. All right. Now I have to think about my material. Fuck.
Yeah, right? Now it's actually working. It's actually working.
Ah!
Holy shit, we didn't anticipate this happening.
Wait, I'm not used to this.
Yeah, what joke am I doing for my normal set tonight? What should I do, Dan Stevie?
I like the lollipop. Down to the joke.
Lollipop. Oh, the gag reflex?
Yeah.
All right. Kids behind me.
Yeah, that's the whole dad bit.
We'll get into it. I got it.
Or dabs.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the sun is down, the moon is up, energy is high, everybody looks good. You guys ready to start this comedy night?
Woo!
Some yes, some no. Unfortunately, friends, comedy is something I need full consent for. So let's try this one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, you're out on a Monday night. This is the thing to do on a Monday. How you feeling tonight? That's what I'm talking about. I knew there was a good audience in the room. Good to see you. My name is Chino. I'm your host of the Comedy Simulator. That's what the show is called, the Comedy Simulator. Why is it called that, Chino? I'll tell you. It's a simulation of a comedy show. This is not a real comedy show. What does that mean? We're not real comedians. You're not a real comedy audience. You still don't understand what that means? No one's charging you anything, so keep your expectations low. That's what I'm trying to say, friends. We're going to have fun tonight. We'll pretend like we're good comedians. You pretend like you're a hot crowd and getting into it. And we'll see if we can make it. Fake it till we make it. We're doing this together. Eye contact, you know? We're gonna get through this. So what this is open mic for our local comedy scene to be able to tune up their abilities. We throw little themes in every week to kind of give them little bumpers on their lanes so they don't end up in the gutter. Sometimes we let the audience heckle. Not tonight. Sometimes we do crowd work. Sometimes we do topics from a bucket, where they pull a word from a bucket and they got to make jokes about that. Tonight's theme is peer review comedy. What that means is myself and another higher ranking comedian will be on stage listening to the set. We'll let the comedian finish their 5-minute set, and then we will give our notes as longer performing comedians to help you possibly dig into that deeper spot of your material, or perhaps your performance, or perhaps your life. Maybe there's things about your self-awareness that aren't clicking. We'll be here for you. I have several comedians that perform regularly on Power Up comedy shows. Specifically, this one coming up next Thursday at Parlay. Hey, I'll be headlining that one. It's gonna be a fun show. We'll talk all about it. But let's get started with some comedy. What do you guys think about that? You feel good? All right. I'm gonna begin the simulator. Ready? Begin simulation. All right. I don't know if you could tell from whatever distance you're standing at, but I'm a giant ape of a human being. I'm a very large person. I try to hide it by dressing auspiciously. Somebody who has a dictionary, like, hold on, what's auspicious? That's a joke. He's joking. No, I constantly am aware of how big I am. Like, that's how large I am. I once had a pair of shoes that have Velcro on it, like the Velcro, like children's shoes, and I'm a size 15. So I know that the child that made that in China was like, how big are American children? I'm like, what the hell? Like, I got big feet. I got really big feet. I sometimes forget how big I am. Like, I'll be honest with you, I ate a lot of gummies before getting on an airplane once. I was pretty scared, right? I was a little shaky. I'm getting on the airplane, and the TSA agent goes, "Excuse me, sir, can you sit over here?" And I'm like, "Oh no." He knows. He knows I have drugs, but they're in my tummy. Is that still illegal? I don't know. What state am I in? That's important, right? And he goes, "Just sit right here, sir. Sit down." I sit down. And he's like, "Okay, you can stand up." And I'm like, "What was that for?" He's like, "Oh, sorry, sir. I just wanted to make sure you were going to fit in your economy seat."
Oh.
I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Oh, you just look like a guest of size." I was like, "Guest of size?" Like, I was about to get mad, and then I was like, "Wait a minute. He thought you had drugs like 5 minutes ago." And I said the dumbest thing in response. I was like, "We'll talk about this later," which is, why would you say that to somebody when you're at the gate of an airplane? You're never going to see them again. Goodbye. Goodbye, Chili's bar in Kentucky. Hello, Maui. That's where I ended up. It's difficult being this large in an island like Maui because not very many people are this large. Like, I think the state average height is somewhere around 5'8", which is difficult to find clothing in my size, to find anything in my size, golf clubs. And there's like rules to being a giant. We can't just be giants among people. I can't just reach over you and grab stuff while you're shopping. Like, that's rude. There's a whole series of rules. Like, if you cannot reach what is on the top shelf, I will reach it for you. But not until you ask me. Because that is important, right? I don't want to insult people assuming that they need something. It happens all the time. Now see, I work with a little person. And a lot of people try to be sensitive about his height. But I don't give a shit. He's one of my closest friends. I love this guy to death. I remember one time I came into work, he's like, "Chino, I just want to say thank you for like always being cool about like my situation." I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about, dude." He's like, "No, you've just always been like sensitive on my situation." I was like, "What situation are you talking about?" He's like, "You know that I'm a little person." I'm like, "Dude, I'm 6'3". You're all little people to me. I only see tops of heads. That's all I see. And nobody wants to hear my ideas either. Because I'm an invention person, but being my size, people just want to see me do things physically. They don't want to know what's going on up here. I've got a brain. Check this out for an idea. Babies crying on airplanes, everybody hates that. How about we get little planes that tow behind the big planes? That we put all the babies in? And all the flight crew are little people. Doesn't that sound adorable? Thank you. Smattering of applause. I'll take that as $1 million idea. That just told me one of the sharks said yes. That's what I'm hearing. I got a couple ideas. Anybody you got an anxious dog at home? Doesn't like it when you leave the house? They bark, they piss off your neighbors? Check this out. A 24-hour streaming channel. That's something on the screen that just goes, "Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? You're a good boy. Get the ball." And your dog's like, that'll work for like 6 hours, right? Yeah. Sit, stay, watch. Good boy TV. That's my $1 million idea. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I'll get some celebrities on it too when it picks up momentum. Can you imagine Ryan Gosling on your TV screen just going like, "Hey, who's a good boy?" Oh no, we can't do that. No, the perverts would ruin that, right? The last thing we need is Ryan Gosling on TV going, "Who's a good boy?" Somebody at home with a ball gag in their mouth, like, "Oh, good boy." Like, I don't need that. I don't need to give those people anything more than I have. Before I pass this mic off to begin this night, I just want to say, everybody in Paia, you should feel very blessed. I was on the road recently, and I've gotten to see all different types of places, and everywhere else is a mess. I can judge your town by what your homeless people are like. In Paia, we're doing fine. The other day, there was a homeless guy by my house. I offered him a sandwich, and he said, "No thanks, I'm vegan. I can't have that." And I'm like, "Hell yeah, good for you." That's a sign of a good economy. When you're destitute, you're like, "Does that have bacon?" Ooh, can't do that, right? It's different out there. I was in California, I got out of a car, and a homeless guy, he was like, "Do you have $1?" And I have a problem talking to like aggressive homeless people, like I get scared. I don't know why. I just never know what to say. I never know what to say to a homeless person except for like, "Thank you for your service," you know? Oh, you don't want to laugh at that? You're part of the problem. That joke's about awareness. I don't see you at the soup line. Anyways, is there anybody got $1? And I did that. I think that guys do when they forget their wallet on a date. Like, I'm on the mountain mine. He's like, "Oh, you only got your card?" And I'm like, "Oh, there's an ATM behind me." I was like, "All right, Now I can talk. All of a sudden, I'm like, wait, you want me to get charged $5 to pull out a 20 that you're going to break with the change in your pocket because you have more cash than me? Like, no, that's inconvenient. He's like, oh, inconvenient, huh? Would it be inconvenient if I keyed your car? I was like, what? He's like, give me $1 or I'm going to key your car. I was like, all right, homeless guy, I'll give you $1. You can tell me. Why the hell you got keys? What doors was he opening that day, right? And then he gave me $1. Strange day in LA. All right. You guys ready to get this mic started?
Woo!
Let's go. Steve, do you mind handing me the list?
Yep. Mystery.
Was that? Okay, cool. I'll be holding on to the list. If you do want to join the comedy list, let me know. We'll put you on. So we're going to be having a comedian join me on stage to give notes, and then after a few comics, we'll switch them out, but we'll let them do a set before they go. Are you guys ready to meet the first comic of the night?
Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, the first help in the peer review tonight will be the hilarious comedian that puts on the shows at Parlay once a month. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Rhonda Lee Kids! Woo! Here, let me turn on that mic for boosters.
Keep it going for Chino LaForge.
Thank
My name is Rhonda Lee Pitts. I am very happy to be here and to be asked to judge people. Normally I do it for free. Don't turn me down, Dan.
Turn her down.
Don't turn me down.
Turn it
I
off.
like being hot.
Try. Talk.
Do you guys like this better?
I mean, don't speak softer after I turned it down. That's like a double
You guys
dose.
like it better when I'm quieter?
Yeah.
Who wants to hear Rhonda get loud? That's a mic check joke. All
Don't
right.
tempt me.
So Rhonda, you're going to be helping us give notes, and then after the several notes, we'll get you. She's got her pencil out. You see
I
that?
got my
Shannon?
pencil.
Here, let me give you. Oh, you got note cards right there.
Yeah, no cards.
So go ahead and have a seat. We'll let you do some stand-up in a second. But right now, we're going to get our first comic for the peer review simulator up here. Ladies and gentlemen, another tall fellow who can feel my pain. Give it up for Mr. E.
Hey, thank you. Keep it going for Chino, and what a pleasure to have Rhonda's criticism solicited. Also, keep it going for Paia Bay Coffee Bar. Really enjoyed Monday nights in comedy, and I'm really grateful for them keeping it going, and the vibe here is perfect. I love it. And Chino's right, I really comprehend the woes of being a giant. I'm 6'6", and this is like low for me. When I was out of the army, I was like 248 pounds. And so I really get it. Like, honestly, I'm not even allowed to use half of my volume most of the time. It's like, everywhere you go, you have to like, little yourself to fit into what? Sometimes it frustrates me, but you know, I woke up in paradise, so things aren't going that bad, you know? I mean, I love my new house in Paia. I love my roommates so much, I already made them banana bread and cheesecake. Life can't be that bad, you know? The only really downside to living in Paia is driving through Paia. I'm like, if your country of origin had an airport to get here, I'm gonna make an ass out of you and me and assume that you probably have crosswalks too. It can't be that foreign of a concept, can it? I mean, don't you have to have crosswalks before you can have an airport? I guess maybe they just don't have manners there or consideration. I can't tell. But I was living in Northern California for about 17 years before I came here. San Francisco a lot of it too, so I'm kind of used to like tourists from everywhere, you know. And if I'm following logical patterns, I think it's just a general lack of consideration. I don't know. Someday I'm gonna be in a place where people acknowledge crosswalks. They're like, oh shit, that's a car, I should stop. But that's probably not wise for me to go making an ass out of you and me again. I don't know. You know, one thing I really learned about Maui is it really is the land of patience, and I'm finding the more patience I can exercise, the more like the spirit of Maui, the people here, the more they really fit in. And, you know, it's like a different kind of patience, not like those patients who are like probably discharged too soon, you know, like those mental ward patients. But I'm not saying they aren't there, you know, but it'll test your patience. It definitely grows and develops with, I don't know. You don't have a choice. One thing I was So back on the crosswalk, has anybody ever noticed the closer you are to a health food store, the least people occupy crosswalks? It's like you go to a health food store, you kind of presume that it's people that are putting more thought in like what they're putting in their body, what they're putting in the environment around them. I'm like, if they can spare this much consideration for themselves and their world, why can't they spare a little bit more consideration for crosswalks and like just public traffic? I don't know. I guess being a giant is more of a pet peeve of mine because, you know, I do take up a little bit of sidewalk. I show a lot of consideration. I always like let people walk first and make ways, but you always have this group of tourists. There'll be like 5 or 6 tourists in a row, sometimes and it could be 3, and it seems no matter where they come from, they always think it's their job to occupy as much of the sidewalk and space as possible. How does this math fit in anybody's head? Apparently I'm the only one that's this big of an asshole. That's why I'm making so good assumptions. I guess on that I'm gonna give it back to Chino. Thank you, everyone.
Great job, Mystery. Put your hands together again for him. It's hard to do the first set of the night, signing up #1 on the set list. I don't know if people know this, but it usually sucks. So, Mystery did a great job with that. Positive feedback. I feel like you kept really good energy throughout the whole time, right, guys? Even on the jokes that maybe were wavering, we're trying out new material here. I felt the Mystery heart in it the whole time. Great initial segue too. You came on stage right after he mentioned you being a tall guy or whatever, and it was a very seamless transition right into your first thing. That felt very experienced to me. Do you want to go back and forth a little, or I could talk for an hour, but.
Awesome, great job, Mystery. Great job holding presence. By the way, all performers, try to angle out to the audience and make sure you're performing to them, not to us. I've seen your face 100 times. I'd like to see it less. Make sure that they get you out there. So you opened up with some roommate stuff, where you started talking about how you cook for your roommate and those things. I would have liked to have heard some kind of, like, do you have any conflict with your roommate? Is everything hunky-dory? Are you guys very different? Like, I feel like there's always stuff with roommates to kind of poke at there. Then also, you got a joke at just bringing up driving around Paia. Just bringing up the scenery. I feel like next time, maybe elaborate on what some of the wildest shit things that you see driving through Paia. I think everybody here has seen, you know, some type of public restroom use or, you know, things being lit on fire, stuff like that. You know, maybe just examine that. All right, back to Rhonda.
With that too, I feel like the crosswalk joke that you said got a heavy laugh right at the start, so you know you have something there. It's just what we do here, is working it out from there. Also, another thing I will tell you, and probably every other comedian, open with your name and end with your name every single time you come up here. You should be doing that every single time. And another thing, universal advice, slow down. You can always slow down a little bit more. And yeah, I wanted to hear more too. You talked about being a big guy, and you're like, yeah, I gotta whittle myself into spaces, which is a funny sentence, but I was like where? Where, what place? And you go, you know what, where? And I'm like, I don't know where do you whittle yourself into? But the driving through Paia thing was very funny, and yeah, I would play with that joke a little bit more.
And then, lastly for me, that you weren't really landing a very specific timing for your punchlines. It felt like we were going to a place, and then we were there, we didn't know we were there. Maybe write some jokes backwards to kind of get your timing. Like, figure out what exactly the punchline is that you're getting to, and then work your way backwards from there. How do I get to this one point? And then when you get to that point, really stop the landing so that the audience hears ba-dum, like, so they know it's time to laugh. And if the punchline's strong, they'll do it. All right, that's it for me. Rhonda, you got one more?
Just on that same topic, also like the highlighter method. You should be able to look at your joke and highlight something that's less than a full sentence sometimes, and that's just the punchline. And so everything else from that is good proportionally in your notes if you're writing those out to look at that and be like, if all the setup is there and the punchline is that big, you have to trim the front end. But you should also know, like Gino's saying, what that highlighted portion is and punch the shit out of that. And then regardless of whether the audience thinks it's funny or agrees or anything like that, there's still that, oh, we know that that was like the end of that, and now we're going into the next thing. It's a predictability. So, but yeah, you did a great job. Everybody put your hands together for Mr. E.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring up the next comedian. He's the man that makes a million noises. Give it up for Eddie V.
Hey, give it up for yourselves. This is a nice Monday night. Like, look at this. This is a great crowd. Congratulations, you're out making your Monday not suck. This is amazing. Yeah, I suffer from tall guy syndrome too. It's great at concerts, it's bad because you're always like knocking your head on stuff. So Chewbacca was trying to do a good deed and he held the door open for some nice folks at Arby's because he likes the beef too. And they gave him $1. Poor Chewie. He was just trying to do a good deed and they gave him $1. Aww. Dating's weird, you know, like we have you know, this thing where it's just not cool to do catcalls, you know. I mean, I think if your name is like Maurice, or like if your name has a roll in it, like Armando or Antonio Banderas, you know, like if there's a roll in there, and like if your name sounds like a cat purring, I think you should get a hall pass on catcalls. Does anybody think so? Because, you know, I think, mira el caliente mamacita aquí. Oh, that was the gecko up there. No. That's kind of hot. I don't know. Is it just me? But I think that's kind of hot. But I have a solution for us frustrated guys that don't want to be politically incorrect and want to let girls know that we are interested. May I suggest bird calls? Like, you know, you could do the that's the who's the hot camel toe crow? Or that's the wild turkey. That will get girls' attention. Late night, it sounds more like if it's after last call, it sounds more like because it comes in a bottle, you know, wild turkey. And it usually ends in illegitimate children or a keyed car or the cops being called. You also have the proud peacock. Or the pimpin' pigeon. You gotta circle around the girl, you know, let her know that she's being encircled. It works for the pigeons, they're fucking everywhere. Okay, so Chewie, he was at the, poor Chewie, he's had a rough go. He was at the DMV for 3 hours and he forgot his paperwork. He was at the beach, but his mask leaked. I'm Eddie V. You guys are riveting. Thank you so much.
Keep it going for Mr. E.
Eddie V.
Sorry. You guys look the same from the back. What can I say? No. Eddie V, thank you so much. A couple things. First of all, setup. Like, have one. What we want to know. We want to know why Chewbacca is in the universe. We love Chewbacca noises just as much as you do. Just give us a reason to believe Chewbacca's in the room. That's all I want. Give me a good setup. You went to 2 different places where you needed $1 and you needed the DMV. You could have used the same setup for either one of those. Just commit, and I love it. I mean, I love Chewbacca. My advice to you is the opposite of Mr. E. You know what your punchlines are. Your punchlines are hitting your sound effects. So in that, find the fastest and most believable way to get to your sound effects. That's your bread and butter. Those are your punchlines. So get to your sound effects as fast as you can in the most believable way. That's the notes I have for you. All right, here's Rhonda.
Alrighty, everyone, put your hands together for Eddie V again. Eddie V, did you say your name when you got on the stage and when you got off the stage? That is the first piece of advice. Similar to Chino setups, you know, some of the punchlines was just a pigeon call. And I think it would be funny if you described a person that you might find at a club, and then the surprise is like applying that bird sound to that. But you're really good at bird calls. Yeah, I same thing. I was like, why? First of all, why is Chewbacca at Chili's? I have to know. And yeah, then we kind of brush past that pretty quickly. So yeah, I would say setups, same as Chino, and yeah, but great job. You have great stage presence. You're very confident up here. And also, I've never seen comedians from this viewpoint before. I'm just staring directly at your asshole the entire time, and you've never been funnier. Here's Chino.
It's true. Power Up Comedy is known for its negative ass. We have assless comics. Thank you, sir. He was into that. All right. Let's get one more up, and then we'll get you up on stage, Ms. Rhonda. All right. Coming up to the stage right now, he's the videographer of all this. He makes sure our live stream keeps running, so be nice to him. Give her Dan Stevie!
All right, I am Dan Stevie. All right, thank you so much for being here. All right, let's hear it for Chino. Let's hear it for Chino. Come on, wake up. Let's give a smattering of applause for Rhonda. There we go. All right, let's give it up for Paia Bay Coffee and Bar. All right, this is our new home. And I want to say, yes, we actually have viewers watching our live stream right now. So thank God it freaking worked. All right, yeah. I spent all week working on the production side, so I'm not sure how this set's gonna go. Oh, Jesus, yeah. I don't know, I'm normally paranoid. And that's like, as soon as you feel paranoia, you've already lost. Because either you're just regular paranoid, or they are out to get you. Thank you. And like, I really noticed that. I went sober for the first time not too long ago, and I was still scared of cops. Okay, there's no reason for paranoia now. I'm not breaking any laws. I don't know, paranoia, it's weird. I'm going through, I think I'm going through a bit of a midlife crisis now. But I've been going through one of those since I was 15, so I figure as long as I keep having crises, I'm never gonna die. I'm always in the middle. And I am definitely having a crisis right now. Yeah, oh, I heard an O? Oh, thank you for sympathy. This lady has empathy. I've been told I don't have that. Anybody else has a lack of empathy, I feel you. Oh man, yeah. I don't know. I've been finding out a lot about myself. I found out I've been blessed with ADD. All right, thank you. I know it's called ADHD. That takes so long to say. ADD, right to the point. I'm not gonna get distracted. I don't even have the H. I just get. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, Nazis. That's right. That's where I was going. So I have a wonderful daughter, and I was driving her home from school before the end of the year, and she said, "Hey, Dad, did the Nazis win?" I was like, "Whoa." And I'm a good dad, so I had to say, "Look, honey, it's complicated. Yeah, Nazis are bad. Nazis are bad. I know the textbook says they lost, But there's a little thing called Operation Paperclip, and now they're running NASA and several other three-letter organizations. But don't bring that back to school, because Daddy doesn't want a phone call. Yeah, being the dad's hard. You know, I'm trying to be an honest dad, but I'm nothing but a liar. I mean, when you have a kid, you're a liar. I'm the Tooth Fairy, goddammit. I'm Santa Claus too. I'm the Easter Bunny. Like I am all of these things, and I'm nothing but a lie. It kind of breaks my heart a little bit, you know. It's trying to be a good dad, but you know, now anytime I have glitter on me, it's because we had craft time. It's not because my face was in a stripper's titties. And I'm coming to terms with that, you know. Times change, you know. But I do miss those times. New Orleans was a fun place. Has anybody lived in New Orleans? Or at least been to New Orleans? Okay, God, I was gonna say, has anybody heard of New Orleans? You guys get trapped on a tropical island. Oh man. But yeah, New Orleans was a great place. I did love strippers at the time. And that's when I learned. One thing I don't miss though is the old stripper titty smash. You guys know that move? Where they bring your head into their cleavage and love you like a dog. And that's when I got my nose broken on an overexcited, underdeveloped chest. Yeah, that's when I learned, just like in football, you never go up the middle, you gotta choose left or right. That's the night I learned one fetish I don't have. Blood and pain. Yeah. I still tipped $1, because you know, you gotta respect the effort. All right, I'm Dan Stevie, that's my time.
Dan Stevie. Thank you, buddy. Ron, I'll let you go first on this one.
Keep it going for Dan Stevie. He opened with his name and finished with his name. We're learning. I think Dan has a great tempo with telling jokes and good stage presence. I felt you like leaning in to the jokes. There was some stuff. Who here knows what Operation Paperclip is? Okay.
More of you
or
should.
So there's half the crowd didn't understand, if not more. I would say that's probably like 2/3. The unfortunate thing is, even though we think things are funny, we have to give like context, funny context to these things. So working Operation Paperclip into that's like the primary punchline of the joke, right?
Yeah.
And for 2/3 of the crowd that doesn't know what that is, you're putting a lot of weight. It's a fun thing as like a little tagline that can get to that 1/3, something a little extra to add, but it's a lot of weight you're putting onto something that people just don't know, you know. And so it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I don't know if this is like an inside joke that I'm not a part of, because I only sort of know what it is. But what else? Oh, I like that you're still scared of cops, but I would love to hear more about the paranoia. You know, a little bit of like some extra examples. And yeah, like I said, tempo is good, but I think same thing, punching up the punchlines because they're delivered the same way your setups are delivered.
Okay.
Too. So, but yeah, great job. Here's Gino.
Great notes, Rhonda. Those are some good ones. Also, she doesn't know what Operation Paperclip was because she was homeschooled by a white lady.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It gave jobs.
No, Dan, your writing is good. You're clever. We can hear it in your writing. Rhonda nailed it. There's something in the tonality where your setups and your punchlines are reading the same.
Okay.
Something very similar where if you really stop the landing on your punchline, you know, at first when you start doing that, it does feel corny.
Okay.
As a comic where you tell the joke and you wait and you're like, ha! Like, it feels corny, but it's also important for us to let you catch up to us because time is moving so much faster to us on stage than it is to you in the seat that we need that, like, kind of. So take your time with that final delivery on that. Also, try not to clutter up the runway to your punchline a little bit. Rhonda said it really well. You had like the main punchline is, but don't say that at school because I don't want a phone call home.
Yeah.
I feel like that got lost
Okay.
Because you were doing, like Rhonda said, maybe even make the Operation Paperclip a tagline you say post facto.
Okay.
Like, did the Nazis win? Oh, it's complicated. You know, they're running a few organizations, but don't say that at school because I don't want to call back home. And then people, oh, you're like, what? You never heard of Paperclip?
Okay.
That's a good way to get your tagline.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys ready to hear Rhonda do some comedy?
Woo!
Find out why she's the best. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see her this Thursday night at Parlay. Get up for Rhonda Lee Kidd!
Woo! Keep it going for Chino LaForge. Oh, you're still gonna sit up here. Okay, cool. This is weird. This is a night of firsts. No, this is super cool. My name is Rhonda Lee Kitts. We start with our name and we finish with our name. Who here likes to smoke weed? Yeah. I love to smoke weed because it has no side effects, right? The only side effect is that I can't find my phone. Or keys, or wallet, or my ex-husband. Okay, I'm gonna describe my grandma to you, and when I say something, a descriptor that sounds like your grandma, I want you to like cheer and make some noise. Okay, I want to see if my grandma's like your grandma. Okay. My grandma had plastic on her couch. Okay. My grandma had a strange collection of like 100 different types of birds, hummingbirds specifically. Okay, one person. My grandma never let me talk during Judge Judy. I thought you guys would relate on this, and I'm realizing I think my grandma's autistic. I was like, aren't all our grandmas autistic? And now I'm realizing, because nobody cheered along, that just my grandma was autistic. Is that genetic? I realized the other day that I give pretty much my entire paycheck to pay rent. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, at this point, I should just introduce my landlord to my boss. Be like, you guys would fucking love each other. Cut out the middleman, which is me, and everybody can have my money except for me. These are new jokes, you guys. I'm working it out. I saw the guy, the Jesus is coming guy. Have you guys seen that he changed the sign? Now it says
Jesus came?
Jesus is here.
That was Jesus came.
And I'm like, we're making some fucking advancements now. I hope it's not that guy. I can't possibly go talk to him. That's too scary. But someone talk to him and find out. I smoke a lot of weed, so I space out sometimes. Like I was driving the other day and I'm like, my music's not loud enough. And I turned it up and I kept driving. And I realized, I'm like, fuck, my music's still not loud enough. What's up with my speaker? I turn it up and I keep driving. And finally, for the third time, I was like, fuck, my music's still not loud enough. And it's hot as balls in my car right now. And I realized I just kept turning the temperature up instead of the music volume. And I was like, should I be on the road right now? My name is Rhonda Lee Kitts. Thank you very much. Oh, also, we have a show this Thursday at Parlay in Wailuku. $15 for everybody else to come. But anybody here tonight, tell me at the door that you were here and you get $5 off your ticket. Chino is headlining. Yes. We have a fantastic lineup. They have great food. It starts at 7:30. Doors are at 7, and that's on Thursday. And thank you. My name is Rhonda Lee Kitts.
Rhonda Lee Kitts, everybody. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Rhonda. All right. Coming up next to the stage, a veteran comedian of Power Up Comedy. So much so that he's one of the founders. We started together. Ladies and gentlemen, give it for Ted Anderson.
Woo!
Have a seat, buddy. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You'll do comedy in a second. We're gonna to judge people first.
No, I was gonna judge Rhonda. Do I get no?
Oh, no,
I'm just fucking.
Holy shit, no. That's terrible. That's like a boss giving another boss feedback. Can you imagine two managers trying to discipline each other? Gross, right? All right. We'll get you up there. Don't worry, Ted. We'll get you up there soon. Coming to the stage now, doing their set, a very funny lady who's been joining us for a couple of years now, right? Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Abra!
Hello everyone, my name is Abra, and I hope it doesn't get windy up here, guys. So it sounds like a hoosh. Ha, ha! Yeah, okay. That's a little physical comedy there. Hi everyone. Again, my name is Abra, just like Abracadabra. I know you were all thinking it. But here on Maui, I've been told my name could mean something else, or it could be said in a different way. Here on Maui, they like to call me Abra. Hee hee. That makes me feel local. You know, I'll never be ethnic, but I can be exotic. I have a red hair. See? No, nobody likes that. Okay. Okay, so I'm working on a bit for a show this weekend, this next coming week in Big Island. I'm on a show on the 26th. Yay, everyone. You can kind of take me seriously. That feels good. Thanks. That actually really released a lot for me. I'm not drinking tonight, so I am a fucking mess. Yes. Pity me. Tip your bartender. Okay. So, I like to talk a little bit about dating here on Maui. It is a clusterfuck, okay? And I have really learned to slow down. And by slowing down, I mean speeding up and giving them no chances whatsoever. I feel like I am a human lie detector at this point in my life. And so just to like quickly go through it, first date, first of all, they have to pass a phone test. And that's like a 20-minute conversation of me asking basically survey questions like, how do you relate with your mom? And how do you de-stress after a long day? And quick, take a picture of your fridge and send it to me in 30 seconds. And your bathroom. Quick, 30 seconds, that's all you get. Yeah, because those are things I really want to know. I don't want to see dick pics, I'm sorry. Although I do nominate myself as a dick pic notary. Because, you know, there's never a face associated with that. Yeah, see me after if you're interested. Okay. So, once they've made it past the first initial conversation where I ascertain that they're not boring or, you know, stupid, I take them on a date, or rather they take me on a date, and I try to cry on that first date. Yeah, you know why? Because I want to know right away if they're going to hold me when I cry or if they're going to pat me like a dog, you know? I don't know if anybody else cares about that, but it really fucking annoys me. Okay, so second date, you know, they passed the first date, they didn't pat me, thank God. Second date, kids. I like to take my kids on the second date. Yeah, so then first they see my trauma, and then they see my baggage. Yeah. Scaring them away. And then on the third date, I like to invite them to my house, and then I'd start like leaving things around, like money or like treats, you know, like panties or like, you know, illegal drugs, because people don't really think you're counting that or like paying attention. And then I do weigh everything, mostly the panties, and make sure that I have everything when they leave, and then I call them on whatever they've stolen. And that's why it's a real clusterfuck for me dating. I've saved a lot of time on exes, but I'm still asking myself why all the time. Why did I do that? Why did I insist on going for that man with a mohawk and a van? But I met a new guy, and right away I knew he was different because he's not only He's Maui great, which is basically riddled with red flags. But the first indicator that he was different was that my ex-husband introduced me to him, right? Yeah, that's a fucking red flag, right? It's like, oh, is this like the ultimate payback, or is this actually a good guy? I obviously had to know because I'm curious. You know what that means. Anyway, so I meet him, and it was a great first date. Oh shit. He's cute, he's clean cut, he has short hair, no beard, no man bun, super built, great listener, looking for a long-term thing. The only cons are he's got kind of bad breath, and he didn't pay. He didn't order anything, but he didn't pay. But these are things I could overlook because, he handled the fact that I brought my kids on the first date and cried, like, really well. Really well, people. Yeah, imagine. Okay, so then we continue to see each other because the pros kind of outweigh the cons. Like, he's super into me, and he loves to work on my farm, but that's because he doesn't have a job, kind of like all men on Maui, so that's okay. He loves nature and is always up for a swim, but he hates to bathe. I have to remind you, kind of like all men on Maui. He doesn't drive, but he loves long walks. He has all of his own teeth. Like, these are huge things for a guy on Maui. I mean, the standards are low. So anyway, I let him move in, and it's been really great. The only thing is, he loves my kids, but when they're at school, he's always naked on my couch. But he does have the biggest tongue I've ever seen in my entire life. The only problem with him is that he makes eye contact with my neighbors as he shits in their yard. He's my dog. And I really love him. That's my time, everyone. My name is Abra.
Abra, ladies and gentlemen, keep it going forward.
Can you say up there while you're picking?
If you want to, sure.
Yeah.
Ted, you want to start with the notes or something?
Yeah, I can start.
You go ahead and get it started.
So you did something that I have yet to be seen from a non-veteran comedian tonight, which is you were very personable with the crowd. You were very natural. Your hands moved like you would normally talk. You were engaging. I mean, that's the one thing about comedy is it's the illusion of a one-sided conversation. So because you came across engaging, that allowed you to sell a lot of stuff. The physical comedy that you did as the wind let me know some things. As that happened, you handled that really well, and that made you more endearing. And the more that you can make yourself endearing, the more that you can sell the really good left turns. Your crowd interaction was awesome. Good left turn on your opening dating joke. Good 3 questions, but maybe more lead up on with smaller punches on why you need 3 questions. Why are you doing the in our work we call it the interview hurdles, things to knock out. And then kind of what went off is you got the crowd in for these really excellent left turns, like really good left turn punchlines. And then you kind of backed off them, and that changed your rhythm and cadence, and the crowd started missing really good punchlines that you wrote. So once that stepped out, they didn't know that there was another punch because you started backing off that. You also left a lot of meat on the bone. You said some really funny stuff, and that you can mine it way more. Let's see. You cried good. That was a great joke that you could have gone for. The third date, all of those have little things that you could have had act outs. You could have done to and fro's. You could have just added more left turns with reciprocal punches and attacks. They're really good and well written. It's just you need to kind of play with it more, but make sure that when you're watching your film on this, watch it and look for that rhythm. You have a natural rhythm, and then all of a sudden you go back away from it. And I think that loses a lot in your writing because you still are writing well. They just don't recognize it.
To tag on top of Ted's note, I think it might be a momentum thing. You had great momentum leading into that last joke. And then I feel like you're piecing together that last part that you're working. There's something very strong about the things that make Maui single men terrible. I think if you just compile the list of that and then turn those red flags into green flags, there's a bit right there. It's like, oh, he's got all the green flags that you want from a Maui guy, and then just start listing all the terrible things that you know about most single Maui men. Great timing, very relatable, wear underwear. I mean, it's just a no, take it or leave it. No. Honestly, great set, Abra. You're getting better and better every time.
Yeah, really good.
Keep it up. Give it up for Abra, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic set. Good job. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming coming up next to the stage, no, those are not Snickers bars. Well, let me try that again. No, those are not Snickers bars. Those are veins in his arms. Give it up for our next comic, Bashar!
Keep it going for Chino, guys. So, my name is Bashar, and am I too loud? Am I coming too loud? I'm good, huh? Yeah, so my name is Bashar. I'm from Iraq, but I know most of you will call me Bashir, and ask me about my life in Afghanistan after the show. I'm actually going home next month for my dad's birthday. Give it up for my dad. My friends are asking me the difference between Hawaii and Iraq, right? And the thing about Hawaii just makes you soft, right? All these sunsets and acai bowls, and you just kind of lose touch, right? So I am going to visit family, but I'm also just sharpening my survival instincts, in Hawaii we have spas, and we have essential oils. Right? In Iraq we have sandstorms mixed with diesel fumes and your neighbor's goat watching you shower. But yeah, like the easiest way I guess to describe it is like Hawaii is like Uber and a Lux, and then Iraq is like a Uber share, right? The car will get you there, just the guy probably gonna be smoking, might be FaceTiming one of his wives. And crosswalks, right? Talking about crosswalks earlier, we don't have those, right? We have trauma. It's just you, your legs, and a prayer, huh? Thank you. I've been sober for a few years now. Right? And my friends are like, good for you. Right? And I'm like, is it though? Right? Like I could slowly feel my friend pulling away from me. Like they only invite me in like public occasions so they don't feel bad about losing me in the crowd, right? And of course, us sobers, we love to talk about our healing journey, right? We want to tell you about it, and as soon as I start talking about it, my friends start walking away, right? But I am healing. Finally listened to my white friend, and went and saw a therapist, right? And she encouraged me to connect with my inner child. And I'm like, you sure? You want that little Iraqi motherfucker back? But yeah, she said, you wanna do things that bring you joy, right? So now I'm back bullying people. Yeah, and I gotta be honest, it's still fun. But yeah, being Iraqi American, that meant I had to give up on some jokes, right? Growing up, I really wanted to be a pilot. That's a 9/11 joke, folks. But let's see. The thing about 9/11 that messed up is none of those guys were actually, aside from the building stumbling, right? But none of those guys are actually Iraqi, but somehow we get invaded, right? It's like your least favorite cousin gets into a fight and those guys come back and fuck you up. Thank you guys, my name is Bashar.
Keep going for Bashar, ladies and gentlemen. Great set, brother.
Yeah, dude, by far the best joke of the night.
Very, very few notes. I don't really have any constructive notes on that.
I have three things. When you do the comparison on Hawaii, you only had 2, always aim for 3 things. You can either do a left turn and have a surprising thing about Hawaii, because the first 2 sound good, so you can do something negative, or you can do a false left turn, where it sounds like you're gonna say something negative, and then you say something that's nice. So that just needed a little bit. Crosswalks, all your crosswalk shit is, God damn it, I almost laughed so hard I vomited on stage. Like that was,
yeah, he literally almost vomited.
that was
disgusting. Yeah.
That was fucking excellent. I can tell where you're working on some stuff and putting it together, so I'd like to see how some of the Iraqi kid stuff gets cleaned up and whittled down so that it's a little bit smoother. You kind of jump around a little bit in that section, but I thought it was awesome. And just a tag for you, that you wanted to be a pilot, and then when nobody gets it, you can just say, so you guys did forget? And I think there's a lot more that you can play with that, but overall, excellent set, man. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, great set, Bashar. Very, very, very few notes for you on my side. You know, I have one note for you that is the most frustrating note that comedians hate hearing. Just keep doing it. You're gonna get so much funnier with more reps. You already have a great baseline. You'll figure out how to be more economic with your setups and how to dig more into like who it is that you are. The third world country, first world country perspectives, hilarious, so always gonna work. You said you're visiting your dad in Iraq pretty soon? Oh, we'll never see you again. Holy shit, what a waste.
Please come back.
There goes all that talent. Well,
You know who's president? Can this wait 4 years? If this can wait 4 years, we'll see you again.
Yeah, unless your dad's sick.
But if not, love you, bro. Stay away from camels and IEDs.
We'll send you with a couple of mercenaries. Maybe one of you guys will come back. I'm not sure. Ladies and gentlemen, get an overtime for Bashar. That was awesome. By the way, we do 2 awards throughout the night. We do Audience Member of the Night and we do Comedian of the Night. Audience Member of the Night will walk away with a free high spice bottle of hot sauce, and Comedian of the Night will be splitting the tips with me tonight. That's right. You'll walk away with some money. Could be you, Bashar. You're looking like you got a nice little week going on right now. All right, we'll do one more and then we'll get you up. All right, Ted? Ladies and gentlemen, come into the stage. He's got a show here headlining on the 31st. That should be an indicator of who's coming up. He also won the roast battle here recently. Ladies and gentlemen, give it for Joel Ewing.
Woo! All right, everybody keep it going for Chino and Ted, huh? All right, guys. My name's Joel Hewins. I've been doing comedy for just under a year. I got some new stuff I want to try tonight. I got a good dad. I got a really good dad. He coached my Little League team. He was really there for me showing up. And naturally, he was the one who taught me potty training. You know, I was about 5 or 6. And he had his own creative way of asking me if I needed to go to the bathroom. He'd be like, hey buddy, you want to go sword fight? And then we could go find a tree, and we'd pee on it together. We crossed streams. It was a really wholesome moment. And that just goes to show that not all childhood memories of your father's penis have to be bad, you know? And if you didn't laugh at that joke, I think you need to go to therapy with your dad. I can actually remember around the same time when I was 5 or 6, I took my last shower that I ever took with my dad. And the fact that I can remember it is probably an indicator that it was too late in life. But he was rinsing soap out of his eyes, and my dad's a really tall guy, so his dick just so happened to be above my eye level, you know? And I think this was the moment that I had my first impulse thought in life. I couldn't fight the urge, so I just went, Now, my dad's a cool guy. He reacted exactly how you would think, you know? He snapped out of it. He was like, oh, what the hell? Get out, never again, never ever again. Fast forward like 15 years later, he's teaching me how to drive a stick shift. And we had that moment where you come to a red light and you shift into neutral. You guys know what I'm talking about? And you know that moment where you wiggle the stick? I couldn't help it. I looked at him and I went, and he went, get out, never ever again. I work at a ukulele store. I work right over here at Melly Ukulele. Everybody give it up for a Logan Brand. It's a great job, but I've been working there for a while, and I've learned a couple things about the job, you know. My body is kind of atrophied from not being very active. I'm sitting down in there a lot every day. The exception to this is my wrists and forearms. They've been getting really, really strong from jerking everybody who walks in there off. Because that's essentially what you're doing in sales. Somebody walks in there and I'm like, hey, what's your name? Steve? Steve, how long have you been playing ukulele? And he'll go, I've been playing for about a year. And I'm like, oh, nice. Tell me more about that, Steve. You know, you sound really good playing that ukulele right there. And he'll be like, listen, man, my wife will kill me if I buy another instrument. And then I'll have to tell him, listen, Steve, your wife's not here right now. It's just you and me. You can buy this ukulele. And then he'll go, oh, I'm so close to a purchase. And then I got him right where I want him, right? That's when I'll tell him, you know what, I'll throw in a free hard case for you. And he goes, I think I'm gonna buy. And then I'll stand up and I'll go, thank you, Steve. Will that be cash or card? Yeah. I've been working at that ukulele store for about a year and a half now. And for that entire time, I've been asking for a raise to my boss. I'm like, boss, come on, throw me a raise here. And she finally agreed. She said, Joel, when you get 100 good reviews that mention you by name, you can have that raise. Joke's on her. She's been paying me 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for the past 13 months to sit in that store and make fake emails to make fake reviews that mention me by name. Now, you can always tell the difference between the reviews that I write and the reviews that other people write, you know? I'll write a review that says something like, Joel went above and beyond to help us and our family find the best product for us. And one of the real reviews will be like, Steve, you know? It'll say, I don't know, Joel gives pretty good head. Another form of money that I have for income is I have an OnlyFans account. A lot of people don't know that. I actually paid my rent with that for several months. Shout out to single moms in Kihei. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, it's her.
I got liked it. I'm actually running a discount code for the next limited time to single moms. If you pay with your child support, you get 10% off your subscription with discount code BABYDAD. It's how we turn your child support into my child support. Single moms have been making pretty odd requests, you know, on my OnlyFans account. One lady offered me $100 to make a video tutorial for her son on how to tie his shoes. I know, it's sad, right? Another lady actually asked me to meet up. She said she'd pay me $500 to come watch her daughter's soccer game. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Chuck. Everybody give it up for Chuck. I had this one really freaky request. This one lady asked me to make this one video, and it actually ended up being my most lucrative video of all. I took a dildo, and I duct taped it to my foot, and I used it to kick fuck a frozen chicken until it thawed all the way out. Now, I know what you're thinking, that's not something that people would want to watch. The hardest part of making this video was sitting down with my editor. She kept telling me, Joel, listen, I don't want to have to watch this, okay? If you're going to make me edit this kind of stuff, I don't want to work for you. And I had to tell her, I had to look her right in the eyes. I had to say, listen, Mom, this is how I pay my rent, okay? This is my art. By the way, Mom, what's for dinner? And she said, fucking chicken, Joel. All right, guys, that's my time. Thank you so much.
Joel Hewins, ladies and gentlemen. Catch him on the 31st headlining Fresh Faces show we're going to have here at Paia. Good job. Good job. Great timing, great setups. Those were all going good. Very visceral visuals. Taping a dildo to your foot and kick fucking a chicken?
I'm here for it. That was fantastic.
That's great, but I've never heard the word kick fuck. That's
Oh, you're
that's
missing
a new
out.
compound word for me. Great job with the visuals. I know we talked about that before. Great commitment to the act outs there. I know it's very hard to just really get into a good blowjob pantomime. And I can tell you somebody was sitting a foot away from you and it looked like the real thing. Good job, Joel. Ted, you got some notes?
Just a few. The sword fight is a good joke. That's just a solid joke. If you, I would like to see you, and this goes for some of the other comedians, like when you get a good joke, especially at a mic, give yourself permission to push it a little bit further. See if you can be a little bit grosser. See if you can add a little bit of an act out to it, like, you know, pull a pube out of your mouth, something like that. Give yourself, you know, you have a punch and it works. You guys, this is like the time to see if you can push it further in the moment. And I think you had a bunch of places where you could have gotten out of that. The back part with the things that you were filming felt like a lot of setup without a lot of punches, and I didn't really get where it was going. I think either trim it up or add way more punches to it.
I think it's funny that we're waxing intellectual over here. He's like, try pulling a pube out of your mouth. I'm like, good, that's a good note. Solid. Good note. We're intellectuals. All right. Ted, you ready to do your set?
I sort of, like, I didn't even think I was doing a set, so let me, what's that show?
Do you want to do a set? You don't have to if you don't fucking feel like it. I thought you liked this.
No, I do. I do. I'm just trying to pick what I'm going to say, that's all.
Do Amakua. Start with Amakua, then work from there.
Oh, just,
I love that joke.
You love that joke?
Yeah.
All right, we'll do Amakua.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ted Anderson!
Hey guys, my name is Ted Anderson. You got that a few times now. Oh, by the way, Joel, I just forgot. Yeah, you made my wife laugh hysterically. It was the first time I heard her cackle this night, so good job on that. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you. This is an awesome mic because it's not just comedians being angry that other comedians are funnier than them. So it's good that you guys are here. This table has stayed. This table has stayed. I don't know who paid you guys to stay here, but thank you. I appreciate it. Table of comedians. That's I've been doing this for 15 years now, and it's a crazy thing to get up and do. I love being here. I love being in Maui. I was up at S-Turns just a little bit ago, and a turtle pulled itself out of the sand, and this lady goes, "Oh my God! It's a mono! That's my Amakua!" I looked over and went, "Lady, you're from New York. You don't get a native Hawaiian spirit animal. Your spirit animal is a pigeon with bubble gum on its face eating a cigarette butt. Where are you from? Wisconsin? Your spirit animal is a dairy cow with diabetes. You from Portland? Your spirit animal is a transgender teen that OD'd underneath a bridge. Are you from Alabama? Your spirit animal is a bucket of KFC filled with loose teeth and a box of coat hangers. We're getting too dark, or is this, we hanging in there? Are you from Iraq? Your Amakua is Bashar's legless father. Are you a white woman that was offended by that joke and you want to tell me about it? Your Amakua is a woman with a haircut that looks like the southbound view of a northbound chicken, and your name is Karen. Do you have children that were born here? Are you white and you've had children born here? Your Amakua is an invasive species, like a mongoose or a kiawe tree. I'm so white, my Amakua is an even whiter white guy, like a Mormon with a sunburn complaining about the quality of a towel at a 5-star resort. I see that and I know my ancestors want me to be okay. I've got 3 girls, 8, 12, and 14, because I only shoot left. Hi. You can look at me. It's okay. Hi, guys. Have you guys gotten drink orders yet? Do you guys want anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, what would you like? Beer? Mai Tai? You look like a Mai Tai girl. It's on the way. Oh, okay. Oh, you're welcome. I was just checking in. I was just making sure you had good service. That was just making sure you had good service. I was talking about my daughters. I was saying something, and then I was talking. It felt like to my daughters again, and then it kind of all went blank from there. I was making sure you were okay, and like, did you need anything? And it just went into dad mode. Like, I was this close to spitting on some Kleenex and wiping some shit off your face. Like, that's shit. I do. I have an 8, 12, and 14-year-old. My 14-year-old is the sweetest, most wonderful child. I do not deserve that kid. She went to orientation for high school, and they did a speech about bullying and making other kids feel uncomfortable. And she said, she came home and she said, well, Dad, I wanted to tell you that I had to go to the counselor today. And I was like, it's orientation. What did you go to the counselor for? She goes, well, I sat down in the bathroom, and somebody had written in the bathroom, balls, balls, sticking balls, 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 sticking balls, balls. And I saw that. And I went to tell her about it. And I was like, you were offended by that? She's like, no, Dad, you say way worse stuff. But I was worried that somebody would sit down and read that in the girls' bathroom, and that they would feel embarrassed. No, oh, that's right. Oh, that's a sweet, wonderful child. What I didn't have the heart to tell her is that the parent orientation was the day before, and I got the runs and had to sprint to the nearest toilet. And while I was sitting there, I found a Sharpie in my pocket, and I wrote balls, balls, ticket balls, 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 ticket balls. All right, guys, my name is Ted Anderson. Thank you very much.
Keeping going for balls, balls, ticket balls, man himself, Ted Anderson, Doc Titanium. All right, coming to join me on stage next for note giving for the next few comics. You know her, you love her. She's always hilarious, always clever, and in my opinion, one of the best writers of power comedy. Give it up for Corky Gardner! Woo! Corky, aren't you so glad we don't have to critique Ted? All right. We'll go ahead and do the notes as soon as we get up our first comic. Ladies and gentlemen, hosts of the Tuesday Night Mic at Vibe in Kihei. If you are one of the comics, you definitely know this guy. Give it up for Morgan! Come on, Morgan! What do you got? His service dog. What service it provides, I hardly know.
Nah, he's not a service dog. He's just Jackie. It's all good. This is my dog, Jack. I got a couple jokes that involve him and about him, and sorry, my butt is in Corky's face. I thought Corky was going to go next, and so I sat back down and I wasn't sure where to start. But whatever you heard about me, most of it is false, because I'm way worse. But you know, it's hard to make a good first impression, and I hate it when I do that, because I just can't keep that shit up. I had been trying to eat better. I learned that, somewhere along the way, you get older, you got to start eating better. So I rediscovered cottage cheese. I used to have it as a kid, but not so much anymore. But then I found it again, and I found out it's really not even cheese. It just occurred to me. No, I know, there's a lot of vegans here in Paia, and I eat meat, and I realize that's a controversial thing to say here in Paia, but I do eat meat. I believe the word eat is in meat, so, it's kind of meant to be. And then when they came up with the word vegan, I feel like they were looking for a word, and they're like, something that means vegetables again? So anyway, good to be back here in Paia on the North Shore. I don't get over here much. It's because of the rain. I live in Kihei, and I just can't stand the sight of the rain. Rainbows are cool. The rain means the rain is far away. So then you count the seconds till you get to the rainbow, and then next thing you know, you're wet. And yeah, I don't do good with just moisture in general. I'm pretty dry, in case you hadn't noticed. Then there was one thing though. I was hearing a lot about dating here on Maui and stuff, and it is tough. It's really tough to date, especially when you're in a relationship. Yeah, you get on the apps, and you find your someone. There's something else I had to say about that, but I can't remember. Meanwhile, I'll move on. Let's see. That's why I was here tonight, because I sent my girlfriend. She had texted me a picture of herself in her new dress, and she said, "Does this lady look fat?" And I texted back, "No," but then my phone auto-corrected to "moo," and so that's what I'm doing here tonight. I found out real quick you can turn a regular sofa into a sleeper sofa. Anyway, I think that's about it for me. I don't know, I can keep it going, and yeah, I'll give it back to you guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Keep it going for Morgan, ladies and gentlemen. I don't really have too much notes because that wasn't as much stand-up as it was like an experience. That was a moment. And by the way, when I said that your dog was a service dog, I meant thank you for serving in Vietnam. That is the oldest dog I think we've ever had on stage. No, your dog is Sweetie Morgan. Thank you so much. Corky, what notes you got for us?
I got all these notes right here.
Those are your own notes, though.
So for Morgan, I thought the dog was funny. The way the dog went behind your feet, almost tripped you. That was hard to coordinate that. And I like the puns, it's kind of cool. And the move, it's classic. I hate that.
All right. Right, we're going to move right on to the next topic then. By the way, the tip bucket is available by the speaker right here. If you're having a good time tonight and want to throw us a little lunch, we appreciate it. I'll do a little walk around a little bit later too. All right, coming to the stage right now, your next comic, one of the youngest ones that we have in our lineup. Give it up for Jackson. Bye-bye.
So, I live how a 9-year-old imagines a 25-year-old would live. Like, I had a root beer float for breakfast a couple weeks ago on the way to work. But like, what else would you expect from a guy that looks like Jack Sparrow with Cocker Spaniel ears? I only saw my dad cry once my entire life. Like, he was the kind of guy that, like, he really didn't want to talk about emotions. Like, he would, instead of starting conversations, be like, "Oh, hey, how are you doing?" He'd just be like, "Hey, staying busy?" And I took on some of that myself, where, like, I don't really show many emotions with my friends. But one of my friends has watched me have sex before, but he hasn't really seen me be sad. What I'm telling you is that, Corky, sorry. What I'm telling you is that one of my friends has seen me come before he's seen me cry. I sidetracked myself. Needless to say, I was not a good student. Yeah, don't worry about it. My mom was pretty irritated by that. Like, she was one of those people that never left school. Like, she was top of her class, went to a D1 college, immediately got out, was teaching in the elementary school I went to. And then I graduated with 1.6 GPA. Yeah, she wasn't happy. I graduated 420th in my class. And that's not even the joke, is that there were literally 420 kids in my class.
I got the biggest applause in my graduation because none of the other parents thought they'd hear my name. No, well, my mom's sick though. Like she raised me in as a Roman Catholic. I did the big three, you know. I did communion, I did confession, I got the turtleneck chopped off. And eventually there's only so much stained glass you can look at. So I stopped going. And then my mom, a couple years later, had a way better reason to leave, but she found out she liked women, and they don't like that. They like boys, if anything. But they no, but that's true though. Like she came out to me when I was, you know, like 13, 14. Pretty formidable years in a young boy's life. He's like, I'm about to go out into the world, guys. And now I'm realizing that my mom is now illegal in a lot of parts of the world. So whenever I travel, I just go to those parts of the world so she couldn't come with me even if she wanted to, guys. I figured I'm solo traveling. Alright, well, that was really fun. I'm Texas Baybine, guys. Have a good night.
Texas Baybine, ladies and gentlemen. Great set, brother. Great set. Good job. Good job. Brooke, you want to give your notes?
Wow, yeah, Jackson, really edifying here. Root beer float for breakfast, that's pretty funny. Especially because that's a lot of work, actually.
Like it's easier to make an actual breakfast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You mentioned your friend watched you have sex. Now I'm intrigued about that. Got more questions, and I'm glad you're not crying in front of him yet. But that's next. And I'm glad you're a good student. You know, 1.6. Hey, you did it.
You did it. Your diploma does not say your GPA. It just says you did it. Yeah, Chuck. The root beer float idea. I want to think about you chugging a root beer float and what that looks like and what the repercussions are. Because that's a funny juxtaposition of having a root beer float for breakfast, like you want to be a kid, but you're forced to be an adult because you're on your way to work. So like, what is the consequence of trying to be a child when you're an adult? Exactly, thank you. Shitting yourself. Appreciate it, Red Shirt. I like your attitude. But like, yeah, like maybe go into like why adults don't act like children. There's so much more there. How many more things do you wish you could do instead of what you have to do? There's a wealth of joke there. Also, your friend seeing you come before you cry. Why can't he see you do both at the same time? Yeah. What if you both came and both cried and looked at each other's eyes the entire time? That's not a threesome. That's a three for all. You know what I mean? That's not some. That's everything.
I'm not sure if he's talking about threesome or if he's walked down the hallway. We gotta get specific.
All right. We got one more comedian for you to. I don't even know we'll give this one notes either because he's kind of like a peer. You know who it is. The Moosity of comedy. The sweetest little rotund piece of cake ever, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Chuck Sauce.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Here, give him a better intro than that. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Chuck Sauce.
Chuck Sauce. Give him Chuck Sauce.
Come on, Chuck.
He made it.
Who's the road? Who? It's good. Wow, it's cool. Still a lot of porn that started this way. Okay. All right. Did Ted Anderson leave the room already? Doctors Without Borders is not as bad as Doctors Without Boundaries. I'm Chuck Sauce. I'm so happy to be here tonight. Holy Christ almighty. I like working at places that have air conditioning, but this place only has fans, so it's good as well.
Big fan. Also, like, every girl in the room looks like you're in like a 90s like music video. Who's my cherry pie? Boopity boopity boop. You have terrible highlights. Okay. So I got low lights. Okay. I have a nephew, that's right. I'm not only Chuck, I'm Uncle Chuck. Something I've been preparing for my entire life. I make the biggest pancakes, bro. French toast, never heard of it. Crepes. I've had a crepes as like my worst on date, and that was right around the corner, bro. Is that place still open, or did like the FDA finally close it down? You know what I'm talking about? Okay, what's it called? Cafe Days to shit your pants afterwards? What's it called? Oh, okay. Alright, Days on me. It's good. Do you guys ever go on terrible internet dates other than with backward hats guy right now? I'm so sorry. No, he's handsome. And his nipples are definitely parallel. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows. But I'm an Uncle Chuck and I have a kiddo, right? I have a nephew, which sounds like I sneeze. And he's watching a lot of Peter Pan lately. You guys ever watch Peter Pan? Yes. Yeah. You shouldn't, dude. Captain Hook gives off huge Epstein vibes. Captain Hook gives off huge Epstein vibes. Like, bro, what are you doing on an island with all those kids? And we know, right? Like, we're on an island, right? Before you know it, everyone's fucking each other, right? Like, Alaska and Hawaii, everyone's Eskimo brothers, right? Why do they call Eskimo brothers? Inuit? Okay. We've all shared the same igloo. That's what I'm trying to say. But, if you're like me, right? Like, think about it, right? Like, second star to the right and straight on to Clinton. Do you ever think that, like, Captain Hook and Peter Pan ever, like, fucked? Or is it just Schmee? I love you, Paia. That joke never lands. That's good. I was at a table earlier today, drinking the warmest beer of my entire life, and this person asked for a barbecue sauce with their chicken wings, and the server, who has a terrible mullet, was like, "That's kind of weird." And I'm like, "You sell shirts that say keep Paia weird." Also, do you guys know what's weird about Paia? What? Everything. Yo, Paia's the weirdest fucking town, dude. I was trying to buy drugs in Paia yesterday. And the guy asked me if I was a cop. Do you know how much drugs you need to be on to think I am police material? I mean, I get it. I'm like Hawaii 5-0. I'm Chuck Thompson. Thank you so much for being here. We are here every single fucking Monday night. This is probably one of the greatest opportunities to get involved in the community, get involved with each other, and have a really fucking good time without spending a whole lot of money. So everybody in the audience tonight, thank you so much for being a part of the experience. And from me to you, aloha!
Chuck Thompson, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like you've been performing long enough. I can't give you notes. You're a guy. Watch your video. You know what to get from that. Corky, do you have any notes or you want to get into your set? You don't. She's like, I guess I don't have any notes because she doesn't have a microphone. All right. You ready to do your set? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let her do her set. I'm going to walk around the tip bucket. I will be splitting it with the comedian of the night. So be a little generous if you got it. Ladies and gentlemen, get your next comic, Corky Gardner. Woo!
All right, guys, I'm going to keep this short because I'm tired. But you guys are tired too, right? But I was going to say the people I see in San Francisco, they unfortunately have this drug problem where they do the fentanyl and they kind of like lean like this. And it really sucks because they're making drugs look bad. I used to have a lot of fun with drugs, you know, you get to dance and stuff. But they're just like all trying to move and they're trying to go places and they're hunched like this. I think they should sit down, you know? Where are you going? So that's why I have a company now, my nonprofit called Chairs for Lairs. We go to every lair, we give them everybody chairs. And they can sit down and just relax, enjoy your high, right? That's what I would do, and I'm planning on it. My neighbor the other day, I asked him, hey, you ever see me dancing in my underwear? And they're like, no. I'm like, oh, there's always tomorrow. I got a new lease on life. The interest is really low. S&M, ha! I could do that blindfolded. You ever go to Amsterdam? You go to Amsterdam and like you got the right to remain silent. I'm like, well, what if you didn't? Everybody would be like, beat up, beep, bop, bow. That'd be really annoying, right? I went to Amsterdam. Everybody was worried about me, but I didn't get robbed till the third day. That's called luck. I'm like, what's that building over there? Like, that's a sex museum. I'm like, it's been that long? Oh no. No, but the thing is, I used to want to be a doctor. Now I'm happy if I have my pants on by noon. I got a 12 o'clock pants deadline. Sometimes I don't make it. Yeah, no shit. That's all I got. Thank you.
All right, we have one more comic joining us for reviews. He wanted to go up sooner, but he couldn't, so I made sure that he was allowed to get drunk before coming on stage. So, ladies and gentlemen, it may not be the best version of him, but it's the version I wanted to see tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Shane Nelson! Woo! All right. The first comic coming up to the stage, the great whale wonder, the man who knows the whale song. Give it up for Joshua!
Oh, yeah, it went downhill after I started doing my own jokes. Yeah, I was also almost diagnosed with ADD. Turns out it's one of the only titles you can get from college that guarantees you'll get paid. I actually have a theory that like really good laughter is actually kind of like the most acceptable form of kind of like transferable insanity that we have. So if you laugh at me, I might look down on you. But it's kind of like the Divine Comedy. I don't know that really anybody ever laughed at that except for like heathens. And the Rhonda, she might take offense with that, but I mean, she's like, as she says, she worships Satan, but she's nice, so I think she might just have her words confused. And I tend to have a like really good sense of humor that I tend to be like the only person who understands. So somebody like her, she'll say, like, I worship Satan, and people think she's cute and like non-judgmental and like it's the appropriate thing to say socially, whatever the opposite of you think a Catholic priest would say. But when I say I worship Satan to people, they tend to like think that I like into like murdering innocent children and like raping and pillaging and stuff. But I also made a comment about, it seemed like a judgmental comment about smoking weed, but the truth is, like, I actually pretty much stopped smoking weed from, like, actually probably one of the only people who actually smoked so much weed that they lost interest in everything, including smoking weed. And then I actually would do these hot boxes, we call the chemo boxes, where you couldn't actually see your hand in front of your face, and I had to get out of the car because my lungs were giving out. And so we found a new method to where we could have an air filter and take shots of clean air. And yeah, my if anybody knew my belief system, they'd probably think I was like everybody would probably think I'm somewhat heathen. And I usually don't really judge most of the time people who agree with me. But yeah, I'm kind of unhappy. So I mean, I usually try to be reasonable. So like, I figure anybody who successfully brainwashes me like has earned it. But I'm kind of unhappy right now, so I figure it's like I'm kind of looking. So if anybody has like better ideas, better belief systems, I'm interested. So but I actually I do a poem. I thought it was like appropriate. I just wrote this a couple days ago. I mainly do poetry, and it's I'm a lot better at poetry usually, but I'm interested in comedy. That's a big part of my life. But poetry is kind of my refined gift. But once I was a child, once I walked like a child and talked like a child. Then I decided to become a man. Walking around in those shoes, always sure, jesting, looking like a clown, clear to everyone but me, I was the fool. Today, I am learning to measure myself, trying to grow one step at a time, hoping that one day I will fit into those shoes. And now that the outside world has given me the eyes to see myself more clearly, I see fools all around me.
Hey, do you have video from Willie's show?
Shane,
Yeah.
you want me to first?
Can you send me my set?
Yeah.
You said something in your set that I would love for you to elaborate on in an entire joke. You said, I don't judge people that agree with me. Usually. That is hilarious. There's something very funny about not wanting to judge people that agree with you. We only judge the people that disagree with us. There's something funny there. You know, maybe this audience doesn't agree with me right now, the way they're looking at me. Like traitors. No, I literally think there's something funny in that juxtaposition. Keep digging around there. Yeah, I felt like only some of your comedy really had like definitive direction where you're trying to go somewhere with it. And some of it you're kind of poking around. Don't be afraid to poke around. That's what the stage time is for. Like, feel free to continue to explore the space the way that you're using it right now. That is how we get better at comedy. Alone. Now I'll give it to Drunk Shane. Drunk Shane, what do you got to say?
He's tired.
First off, I'd like to apologize, because I'm reading my notes and they seem mean. You mentioned raping and pillaging. Don't do that. Less of that. The first time I ever met, first off, it's gonna sound mean like everything I say, but just know I'm proud of you or whatever. The first time I ever met you, you mentioned milk. No, you didn't mention it. You drank a gallon. You brought a gallon of milk here and you drank it. Whole milk. I swear to God, this man drank a gallon of whole milk right there. And I was thinking, like, you should do that on stage.
Yeah. Just bring
That'd be cool. I apologize, dude. The only other thing I wrote is clear your throat less. Keep it up. You're doing great. Back to Chino.
Drunk Shane, ladies and gentlemen. One of my favorite archetypes of Shane videos. All right, ladies and gentlemen, next coming to the stage, a comedian who's come back. Started working with us before, missed her for a while, now she's back. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Celeste!
Hey, I'm trying to golf like once a month with the same crew.
Yeah.
All right.
Sundays are always cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say, Chino, before I start here, I've got to say, my name is Celeste, by the way, and I knew Chino years and years ago. First time he invited me to do comedy, it was a very different vibe. I walked into a windowless room with 4 guys and no cameras, which is a bit different than what we've developed here. I love to see this. You know, you're building community. You've got all kinds of things going on here. We've got a full-on guest host situation, like some kind of made for YouTube public broadcasting bullshit. It's absolutely fantastic. With all that said, I do have to say that
And then she kicked me and I grabbed her foot.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
I'm sorry.
I use
And then
humor
next day, the
to
same thing.
arrest
I'm like,
my
"What you
trauma, not to impress the internet or anyone for that. And I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to spill the tea with the tattletale TV going on here in the corner. I would like to be able to tell the stories about my insane family without feeling like the completely judgmental bitch that I am. But a little bit of the discretion of not being on the internet makes that a lot easier, but I will power through here. So if I'm gonna go into the craziness, let's just start with my family. Last week was my birthday. Yes, thank you. And of course, that brings out all the woodwork, right? People are calling to say congratulations and stir the pot, offer their drama and ask what's going on. Even though I stopped talking to these people years ago, they never cease to amaze me. I like to check in just like once every 5 to 7 years, because that's when you get the really good highlights. I've got one side of my family here. My aunt has officially quit her job to do antiques and is now asking all of our relatives for money so she can follow the Antiques Roadshow like on the road like a groupie. It's fantastic. She's just out there swinging her antique beads and screaming from the corners.
It's super hard to get
It's really good to feel her in the back there. But the other side is where the real fun begins, because I haven't talked to the other side of my family in a very long time. And my aunt, who stopped speaking to me about 10 years ago, calls me up. She's in a full-on panic. She says, do you know what happened? I was like, no. She said, well, you need to, I need to tell you something. I'm like, on what? She said, well, why is your brother in jail? I haven't spoken to him in 7 years. I don't fucking know the consequences of his own actions. Well, it doesn't go over too well with her, and then she starts to really unload on me. And she says that she's looking at this jail website, and she sees his mugshot, and well, she needs the information because he's not answering his phone while incarcerated. She seems very confused by this fact, which would be surprising if it weren't for the fact that most of our family has been in and out of jail for her entire life, and the not having your personal cell phone on you seems to be like it would be a dead giveaway. But apparently it hasn't, and I'll check in again in another 7 years and hopefully get exactly as many laughs next time. I appreciate you sitting through that. Thank you very much. My name's Celeste.
It's funny, once Celeste asked me, and she's like, do you have like a humiliation fetish? Why do you do comedy? This is so fucking humiliating and hard. No, Celeste, great work bearing the humiliation.
Also, yes.
And I'm sorry this is ending up on the internet, but it makes it only better. Like 2 people are watching. Do you know how hard it is to go viral? Fuck, I've been trying for a decade.
Seriously, me, Chino, like
Antiques Roadshow, your grandma following around like a band. You should like totally directly relate that.
Figured out a whole
So
new
like,
thing on my swing.
my grandma's following Antiques Roadshow like the Grateful Dead. And then draw the parallels. Tell us about your grandma doing acid for the first time. Whatever, just draw some lines or something that's something to dig out there. Shane?
Right out here.
Alright, I'm gonna be serious this time, dudes. Because my beer's staring at me and I'm sobered up. When you first got up here, you mentioned like this being uncomfortable because you're in a room with 4 dudes pointing cameras at you and you're used to. That's a great spot for a punchline to open right up right there.
What are you used to? That'd be funny, almost no matter what it is. Another thing is the Antique Roadshow is a great topic, because who here is familiar with the Antique Roadshow? Yeah, like right away it brings us all back to a place where it's like, okay, what can you tell us about it? And then like, how can you make a funny relation to it? It's a great topic, so it's a good starting point.
All right, one more time for Celeste, ladies and gentlemen. And by my list and the time on the watch, we got one more set for the critiques, and then we got just a couple more to close it out. So ladies and gentlemen, your last of the critique sets. No, he does not have a speech impediment. He's not been electrocuted. There's no stroke going on. He is from a different country. That's why he sounds like this. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ivan!
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. My name is Ivan. I am from another country. In fact, I'm a Latino. My first language is landscaping. I'm just kidding. My first language is painting houses. In fact, every time someone asks me, hey, what about your pronouns? I said, dude, I'm Argentinian. I pronounce the best I can. I smoke a lot of weed. I don't know if you can notice that. Like a lot. I smoke till I have a panic attack, right? Yeah. Last time I was smoking, I was having a panic attack, enjoying it so much, and a shadow was talking to me, and started talking to me in Spanish, and I went, this is no panic attack! This is a Hispanic attack! Those in the back, they don't smoke weed. You don't get it, guys. Okay. So I have problems when I say, well, with English, with everything, anyway. So when I go and meet someone, I go, hi, my name is Ivan. And they went, Iva? And I'm like, always. Last time I was in party, this happened. And I'm like, no, Ivan. Iva? And I'm like, yeah, that's close enough. And he went, Iva, close enough? Are you Russian? Yeah, that's close enough. Okay. So, Jesus Christ.
Superstar.
He's
Who
back.
In the hell do you know you are?
I'm a magician. Actually, I'm bisexual. And, I make it disappear. Hold on. Okay. I pull out the rock. No, anyway. I am bisexual, and you are what you eat. Yeah, I'm both a dick and a pussy. Come on. Depending on the person, I can be an asshole. No? Too disgusting. You're not even eating. What's wrong with you? Okay, these kind of nights make me want to quit my bisexuality. You know what happens when a bisexual quits their sexuality? They become bisexual. And I'm bisexual and bilingual. If I quit everything, I will be bye. You're dead, old lady, right? What's going on? Sleeping pills. All right. So yeah, I struggle with English. Last time I was driving, I had an idea, a premise for a joke. I said, hey Siri, take note of this. And Siri said, I created a note, it says, call Norman. Who's Norman, Siri? And Siri said, an English teacher, you need it right away, like right now. I called Norman, and he's cool. He wanted to learn Spanish. Yeah. So he teaches me English, I blow him in Spanish. Yeah, it's great feedback. It's coming. So I'm single.
Got to start.
I'm single. I really think GPS in Maui should come with a dating feature, because I'm lost trying to find love. I need a machine to tell me, make a U-turn. You ignore all the red flags. I need a machine to tell me, your destination is on the left, emotionally unavailable. I need a machine to tell me 500 feet lower your expectations, That's what I fucking need. 1 minute. I should have said that. Okay, anyway. I don't know if you know this, but the OG Egyptians were black. Ah. Yeah, that means that the real name of Tutankhamun was Tutankhamun. Come on, man! Come on, man! I could hear your asses like clenching. You know? I said black, everyone was like. I went on a date, and in the middle of it, she told me, you know, I think I'm enough. I don't need to change anything else, you know. I was upset by this. But then she kissed me, and I was like, okay, I'll stay for a while. Yeah, we went for a walk, and she turned to me, kissed me again, and said, I have always wanted to be with a huge donkey dong man. And I said, you know what? You're in luck. Because I am enough. Come on, okay. My name is Ivan. Thank you so much.
Keep it over Ivan, ladies and gentlemen. Shane, you want to get first notes? Go ahead and get first notes.
I will. I will. Ivan is what happens when you're a good writer to start with, and then you come here consistently. That's what that was. That was like, that's a fucking comedian who's put in the work, and you're becoming a fucking the real deal, dude. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Amen. No, that's for real.
Yeah, no.
The only advice I really have is like, there's a lot of like punchy, like really well written things, and it's the advice I give to everyone and myself constantly, which is slow down. When you tell a good joke and you get us, never cut off a laugh, dude. You worked hard to get that laugh. Don't stop it early.
Now suck his dick in Spanish. Nah, hey, great set, Ivan. Great speed right out the gate. You just threw 5 punchlines in the first 25 seconds. Bam, 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 bam. Got you on your side really quick. Can you speak more clearly? No. I know that's a part of the charm too, but Shane does have a good point. Maybe slowing it down will get some of those syllabic muddlings a little cleaner, just because there are syllabic differences in the language. So, syllabic, yeah, like, you know, like Hugo, no, syllabic, like multi-syllabic words.
Syllabic.
Refrigerator.
Silly.
No, I'm missing a tooth, that's why there's a little lisp there. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, I'm not perfect.
I'm sensitive.
I'm not perfect, thank you. All right, so we only have a few left for the night, but we're gonna give, thank you Ivan one more time, give it for Ivan. Shaheen, you're gonna close us out for the coach sets, and then we'll wrap this mic up with the last few that we have. Ladies and gentlemen, give it for Shane Nelson, the drunk version.
I'm blind, dude. I can't see shit. It's true, I have 2400 vision. Which means 2400, something at 20 feet for me is the clarity of 400 feet for a person with good vision. Which means when I go to the optometrist, I can't see the E on the top of the chart. But I know it's an E. It's always an E, dude. And lucky for me, I've been going to the same optometrist. I looked at that word today, I'm proud of it, optometrist. I've been going to the same optometrist for 8 years, dude. I've never had a doctor for 8 years, but I've had my optometrist for 8 years, and we're super close. And one of the reasons why we are super close is because about 4 years ago, I got arrested in North Dakota, Fargo, North Dakota, for driving and having a weed pen in my pocket. And they're like, because you have a weed pen in your pocket, that means you were high. So I had to go to court, and I had to prove in court that I was not high. And I got my optometrist from Kahului to write me a note. And he wrote a note to the judge, and he said, Shane Nelson always looks like that. ... super high. Comma, he has a condition. Yeah, dude. I was like, this guy's my dude, you know? Like, I'll go to you for forever. But my optometrist, he doesn't look professional. Like, he always looks like he just woke up. His hair is all crazy. Like, he just woke up and he, like, licked a fork and put it in an outlet. Ugh. He'll, like, come into my room
like I'm sitting at the eye doctor, we did all the tests, and he'll come into the room, and he'll be shocked that I'm there. Like, he'll open the door, and he'll be like, oh my gosh. He's like, I wasn't expecting anyone. Like, he's the kind of dude that, like, his pants are super wrinkly, his shirt is super wrinkly, and he wears a Hawaiian shirt that's one button off all the way down. He's the kind of guy that, like, you wouldn't be surprised if he's like, yo, smell my finger. Like, I'm sitting in that chair, dude, and he's like, what smells worse, this? I'm like, oh. He's like, or this? Ugh. I'm like, let me smell number one again. Ugh. Oh my God, they smell the same. And he's like, very good. They are the same. They're both my butt. It sounds like I need a new eye doctor. Actually, he found out I do comedy. He's like, when's your next show? I was like, Thursday, you should come. You're going to love the material. Dude, I've been blind most of my life. Or I guess all my life. I didn't find out until the 6th grade, dude. Like, I always thought that, like, math was, like, super tough for everyone. Like, I just assumed life, people were like, life is hard. And I was like, fucking right it is. I can't see shit. Like, I used to play sports, and sports were really scary. Like, I played baseball, and they put me in right field. And I grew up in North Dakota where, like, there was 10 kids in my graduating class in high school. So for baseball, we had to combine with 4 other schools. We were Turtle Lake, Mercer, McCluskey, Underwood. And so, like, we weren't very good at baseball. And they put me in right field, which means I'm the worst. And the reason I'm the worst is because I'm blind, dude. I'd be out there and I'd hear the crack of the bat and I'd be like, oh no. Like, I really hope it's not coming this way. The only way I could tell, I try to see other people and see if they're like looking towards me. I'm like, if they're looking at me, that means the ball's coming. Which is scary, dude. We'd be on offense, I'd be sitting in the dugout and the coach would be up and he'd be like, you're up to bat. And I'd be like, aren't we all just bats, dude? Using sonar. Trying to tell where the ball's at. All right, my name's Shane Nelson. Hello, everyone.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we did go a little over time tonight, so we're just going to wrap it up with one more performance. But before we do, just want to say thank you so much for joining us tonight. Audience members of the night, this table dead center right behind Chuck. You guys were awesome. That's right. You guys right here. That's right. I'll be dropping off a hot sauce bottle for you. And also this table right here. President Spence, you guys were great too. I got 2 bottles of hot sauce for you. Thank you so much for being awesome audience members. Bashar, you get comic of the night tonight. Congratulations. We're splitting tips. And whatever half you get, you can take back to Iraq, and I'm sure it'll transfer as a lot more money than it is here. No, that's not true. The dollar sucks right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, bringing this home as always, our final act of the night, per usual. If you wanted to get up tonight and you didn't get a chance to talk to me for next week, we'll give you a preferred spot. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, you love them. Give it up for Tub.
I don't love him, and I'm drinking my Bill Lee. Have a good night.
Later, bud.
I usually try to get people to laugh by my setting stuff up here, so if you feel like doing that, go ahead. Thank you. I don't play that, I just, I'm wanting to learn. If anybody knows how to teach guitar, see me afterwards. The first thing I wanted to say was Celeste here said something which I never heard before. She said, last week was my birthday. And I'm thinking, well, most people have a birthday on one particular day. So, like, was your mother in labor with you for like a whole week?
I mean, she really didn't want to keep pushing, so probably.
Oh boy. But she's still alive? Oh, anyway, last week, on one particular day, I did not have an opportunity to eat a regular amount of food. And I was super hungry, so I walked into what looked like a specialty food store up in Wailuku. Never seen it before, and like a mom and pop kind of thing. I walked in, and there was this older woman behind the cash register, and she looked like really pissed off. I don't know what she was pissed off about, but anyway, I just said to her, I said, "Do you have any eggs?" And she looked at me and she said, "That's none of your business." And then she said to me, "Why? Do you have any sperm?" And I said, "Yeah, why? Are you hungry?" Looking, you probably wouldn't believe it. I was on the football team in high school, but I played one of the back positions, believe it or not. My position was flashback. It was my job to remind them of how good they used to be. And my girlfriend was on the team too. She had a position. Her position was in the men's locker room. It was the missionary position. And now I will take my guitar. So, I've had this ongoing dialogue and narrative that casual sex can be less than a good idea. I mean, sex is so powerful that and pleasurable that bonds are created whenever you have sex with someone, right? Right? Whether you find out there shouldn't be any bond there or not, but it's there. For instance, this woman came up to me. I've known her for quite some time here in the community. We're just friends, that's all it's ever been, we're friends. She came up to me, came up one day, she said, "Doug, I want to fuck you." I said, "Why?" And she said, "Well, I'm horny and you look good." I said, "Okay, well, what if the sex, lovemaking, whatever you want to call it, is so good that we start having feelings of love, right? So we have sex more often, and that keeps going on, and more sex, more love feelings, and then one day, because she's known me for so long, she remembers there's something about me that she's not really that crazy about. So now she's not so sure she wants to do it anymore, and I go, hold on, wait a second. We should go to therapy together and learn to become different people. I'll learn to more match you, you'll learn to more match me, and oh, wait a second. If you're changing to match me, and you know what? I think I'm going to just go jerk off. Thank you. So anyway, I wrote a song about the same thing. I don't want to get too close to just anybody. I don't want to feel like I'm stuck. Though it can feel real good getting close to somebody. Getting too close can get you fucked, and I don't mean in the pleasurable way. Maybe it's not clear what I'm saying. I'm talking about that word spelled T-O-O. And if I get too close, but I'm just playing, then maybe no place good left to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for joining us tonight at the Comedy Simulator. If you had a good time, please tell your friends. If you didn't, shut your fucking mouth. We don't need rumors. It's a small island. Thank you so much. Get home safe. We're here every Monday night. Give it up for your staff here at Paia Bay Bar, Coffee, PDC, Coffee and Bar. They're wonderful. We're wonderful. We'll see you guys again soon. Next comedy show here at PDC this Monday, we've got July 31st, Fresh Faces show featuring Joel Hewins. That's his last name. Featuring Joel
got it.
Hewins. We'll see you there. See you next week. We love you. Bye.
Yeah, it can feel real good when you're playing. Fucking around with someone you don't really know. But if you get too close, well, I'm just saying, there may be no place good left to go. I've been down that road too many times before. Next time I'm just walking out the door. 'Cause I don't want to get too close to just anybody. I don't want to feel like I'm stuck. Though it can feel real good getting close to somebody. This time I'm walking out before we fuck. Thank you. I'm done.